Hey guys, it's Jessica Hayes. So this week's video is going to be my go-to look that I wore while I was in Paris. Let's ditch this beret because I wasn't that obvious. I did bring the beret, but I was like, do French people actually wear berets, or is it just a total tourist trap there? But this makeup was definitely inspired by Parisian beauty and that effortless chic look that all of those beautiful French women have. So if you would like to see how I did my go-to while in Paris makeup, then keep watching. So I'm just going to start off with this Drunk Elephant moisturizer. This is the Proteiny Polypeptide Cream. One pump all over the face. This is really, really nice and moisturizing. So if your skin is a little drier, you can definitely pull off more of a semi-matte foundation. So every day when I was in Paris, I was using the Kat Von D Beauty True Portrait Foundation. This is the shade 008. It took me a few different tries to find my true coloring. This one is still a little bit light for me, but I've just been bronzing it up or adding a few drops of a darker shade. There are so many shades in the range, and I think that's why it was trickier for me to find my true color. Usually I'm the first shade or the second shade with a little bit of yellow in it, but there's 40 shades in this range, so lots of colors. So I'm going to be applying 008 all over the face, and just make sure you give the foundation a really good shake up first as well. So I'm just popping it onto my Kat Von D foundation brush. I've used a few different ways with this foundation, and I think I like the brush best. Stephanie Struzero on the Kat Von D beauty team, she loves applying it with her hands, which I have done, but it's been so long since I've applied foundation with my hands, I feel like weird doing it. So I've resorted back to the old school foundation brush. I also do like it with a beauty blender as well, but brush has been my favorite. I love this brush because you can just kind of press it into the skin. So you can see already just the difference between my forehead and the lower half of my face, the nice coverage that this foundation gives. So I wore this foundation every single day when I was in Paris, and it lasted incredibly. It was pretty neutral weather. It wasn't too hot or too cold. It was about 60 degrees when I was walking around, but long days. Like, we would leave the Airbnb in the morning and then walk around all day, and then we'd come back in the afternoon to change for dinner. And what I would do is just hop in the shower, leave my face on, and then just redo a little bit of my concealer or whatnot, freshen up my lips, and then I was good to go. I did not touch my foundation any day that I was there, from having it on all day and putting it on in the morning. That's the best thing when you're traveling, is having makeup that you can trust. And every time that I go traveling, I just make sure that I bring my old favorites with me. And I have been using this foundation since probably September, whenever it launched, so I had a lot of faith in it to take it for an important trip where I wanted to look my best. So that there, without concealer, obviously, I'm going to do that in a second, is the Kat Von D Beauty True Portrait Foundation in Light 008. So this is a lighter shade with more of a warm undertone. I did also get Light 21, which, as you can see, it's a little more of a neutral, maybe a little bit more yellow undertone, but a lot darker as well. So if you are fair and a little more on the yellowy side, I would do the 008. So speaking of skin types that this foundation works for, I am usually a little more on the normal to dry side in winter, and then normal to a little bit oily side in summer. So I have been wearing this at the end of summer, and it was fine with my oilier skin. And now that I'm a little drier, especially I just got a chemical peel a few days ago, I can still wear it. I just need to make sure that I'm using an appropriate moisturizer. So that Drunk Elephant Proteiny is really good as well. So I'm just gonna pop a little bit of concealer around my eyes. So pretty much all day adventuring around Paris, we would come back to the Airbnb just for a little change our outfit for dinner, zhuzh the makeup a little bit, and I did not need to even touch my foundation, which is such a nice feeling. I would just zhuzh underneath the concealer a little bit. I don't know why my concealer, no matter what it is, always seems to just need a little bit of an afternoon zhuzh. I'm using right now the Kat Von D Lock-It Creme Concealer in L3 Warm. So you guys, oh my gosh, Paris was absolutely amazing. I didn't really know what to expect for it. I've always heard different views from lots of other people. A lot of Americans say that French people are very rude, but I did not experience that at all. I just loved, everyone's like, what's your favorite part of Paris? And it's not like a part, it's just the atmosphere of just being there was incredible. We did all of the touristy stuff. My favorite was going to go see Saint Chapelle. Thank you, Sarah Sgt. Pepper, for recommending that. That was incredible. You know, we went to the Louvre, we breezed by the Eiffel Tower, we saw the catacombs, which was so cool. Key tip, I would not do a guided tour because it was a little bit snoozy, and just line up. We did a guided tour so that we could skip the line, but it ended up being a little bit boring. But the main reason that we went to Paris, we went and saw Sisters of Mercy because they weren't doing any shows in America. So I was like, screw it, let's go somewhere in Europe and go and see them. So we chose Paris, which was awesome. Ended up being the new guitarist for Sisters of Mercy was actually from Brisbane, which is really close to my old hometown. So it was cool. Anyways, for the eyeballs, I'm going to use my fresh that I've been saving for so long, Kat Von D Shade and Light Eye Palette. So I'm just taking this first shade right here. I'm not even going to try to pronounce it because I always murder these beautiful names. I'm just going to be applying it with a soft, fluffy brush. So patting on the lid of the eye and then blending out whatever is left on the brush up through the crease of the eye. Obviously, when you go to Paris, you notice there's like a typical Parisian beauty or a French look that the women have. The women over there are just so well dressed, so well put together, so beautiful. And they have like a very classic, chic, and kind of undone beauty look to them. You know, there's not a lot of contouring and highlighting and dramatic brows and lash extensions. So I kept my makeup routine very simple when I was there. When I go traveling, I usually like to just bring one palette with me. And I just bought this one along with me, as well as a few other pinky shades, which I didn't end up using. So basically, I just pat that color all over the eyes, shade up a little bit. It is just one color all over the eyes, very, very simple. And then I'm gonna grab the tip of a fluffy brush and just add that underneath the eyes too. So once the under is done, I'm just gonna look straight ahead. I've noticed that my eyes are slowly starting to get more hooded and more hooded. So when I take this just a little bit above my crease by just looking straight ahead and making sure that that top line there is just a little more pulled out, it gives a little more shape to my eyes, and I feel like it gives them a little bit of a lift as well. I'm just going to take a little pencil brush, just define underneath the eye a little bit and meet this little gap right here. So that's just a really nice, soft, easy, neutral, kind of toasty brown eye that's really simple to do. And you know, it looks like you've got a little bit of something on, but you didn't put too much effort into it. I'm just gonna zhuzh the brows a little bit using the Kat Von D Beauty Signature Brow Precision Pencil in Graphite. I'll just use that little spoolie on the end just to brush out the brows a little bit, grab any foundation that may have gotten in there. And then, like I said, I don't want an Instagram brow. I just want some nice little flicks and fluffs wherever I have little gaps. And I really like this pencil because it's not too soft. It's dark, but it's not too soft, so you can't get really crazy with it. One thing that I did notice, a lot of the French girls, they had really incredible eyebrows, like untouched, just big, bushy, naturally full brows. Oh, so jealous. To recreate that look, I'm going to use a little bit of this Milk Kush Fiber Brow Gel, and this is the color Grind, which is a really great color if you've got dark, cool hair. So I really like to fluff up these front areas a little bit as well, just for a little more of a natural, untamed, bushy brow look. So I'm going to grab again this Kat Von D Beauty Shade and Light Eye Contour Palette. This is the reason why I had to open a new one of these, is because this shade has completely hit pan. There is nothing left. There was like a little scoop out of the corner because it's one of my favorite contouring shades. So just using that underneath the cheekbones with this Shade and Light contour brush. So some days I just leave the face just contoured with no blush, but if I want a little bit of color, I'll just add a little bit of this Kosas cream blush. So I usually like to take the poofy, nice round blush brush for this, and I'm just tapping just a little bit onto the apples of the cheeks, not too much. I don't want my blush to be seen, more so just a little flush, just to blend that contour in with the skin. And then once you've done the blush, I like to just pat around the edges of it just to really meld it into the skin as well. I'm gonna use that foundation brush just to sweep the eye upwards a little bit to whatever's left on it. And I skipped the highlighter. I have been kind of skipping highlighters lately. I just like more of a dewy apple rather than a really crazy lit highlight on the top there. So I'm going to use the Kat Von D Beauty Ultra Ink Liner for a little tiny line along the lash band. I don't want a really big flick, just enough to strengthen that lash band a little bit. So I just curled my lashes and I'm going to pop on some of the Kat Von D Beauty Go Big or Go Home mascara. I guess the main feature of this look, other than just nice clean skin and a clean eye as well, lips. Obviously the first thing that you think about when you think of Parisian makeup style is a red lip. It was fall when I was there and I didn't want a really bold red lip, so what I was doing was just applying a little bit of the Kat Von D Beauty Studded Kiss in Hawkwind all over the lip and just kind of mushed in a little bit, and then I would take the Kat Von D Beauty Studded Kiss in Misfit and just pat that over the lip. So just blotting that over that brownish color just to give it a little more pop, and then just blend it in a little bit with your finger. I also didn't want this lip too crispy, just another one of that lived in qualities to the makeup. And because that was more of a pat on stain, it was a lot easier with upkeep as well. I would just take Misfit in my handbag and then I would just blot a little bit on the center after I had eaten if I needed to. With the Kat Von D Beauty True Portrait Foundation, it is more of a natural matte finish, so I don't ever set it with a powder. I guess if you were really oily, you could use a translucent setting powder over the top, but what I was using is the Kat Von D Beauty Lock-It Makeup Setting Mist. This is a little more of a moisturizing setting mist. It stops the skin from looking overly powdery if you don't like that look. So there we go, you guys. That is my finished go-to makeup that I was wearing every day while in Paris. I had the most incredible time while I was there. We were only there for a really short trip and I feel like we accomplished a lot in 4 days, but I want to just go there and experience it a little more. So to me, because Paris is a very fashionable place, I did want to be looking my best at all times. So it was nice to be able to rely on a foundation that was actually going to look good all day. I haven't found any that are really like that for a while that isn't a full coverage. So this has more of an airy, matte, kind of soft feeling. And it also has an elastic technology in it. When you're making expressions all day, it isn't going to, you know, get cakey or gross in any little fine lines or pores, and that's the best thing about it. The fact that I could actually walk around all day and literally go home and not even have to touch my face is wonderful. So for me, when I'm a little bit oilier, it was great, and now that I'm a little drier, I just use a really good moisturizer before I put it on, because it does have that liquid to powder texture. The moisturizer just keeps it looking fresh and dewy. And I guess if you have super oily skin, set it with a translucent. For me, during the warmer months and now during the fall and cold months, I definitely don't need a powder to set it with. Obviously, the best thing about Kat Von D Beauty is it's a fully vegan and cruelty-free brand, which we love. Kat Von D Beauty True Portrait Foundation retails for $36, and you can grab them at Sephora inside JCPenney. Also, if you head to my Instagram, I am also going to be doing a giveaway for one lucky winner to win a gift certificate so that they can purchase their own Kat Von D Beauty True Portrait Foundation from Sephora inside JCPenney. If anyone has any questions about the Kat Von D True Portrait Foundation shades in the lighter ones, I have tried a few of them, so drop them below. I hope you guys have liked this video, and hopefully it's been helpful for you. Hopefully I can help you in the comments below of what shade you should try of the new foundation as well. As for YouTube's, oh my gosh, you guys, the more I step back from social media, the harder it is to get back into it. But it is full on snowpocalypse outside right now, and usually in the winter months I feel like a little bit more of a creative buzz. I get a little bit of cabin fever, and creating is something really fun for me to do. Now that summer and the beautiful fall months are over, well, it's still technically fall, but it's like the Arctic here in Michigan already. I can't believe it. I'm looking out the window right now. It's just full on white. So hopefully I will be getting some more vids up on the YouTubes for you guys. Thanks for staying with me till the end. I hope you guys have an awesome week, and I shall see you when I see you.